There is something I need to tell you right away, and it may surprise you, maybe even shock you a little. Most people over 60 believe that doing Sudoku, crossword puzzles, or memory games at night is enough to keep the brain active and protect it from aging. But this is not true, and in some cases, it can even make things worse. Because the real problem that steals memory during the night has nothing to do with mental exercises. It's something much more hidden, much simpler, and almost nobody talks about it. Every night while you sleep, your brain is supposed to go through a deep cleaning, a natural wash, a gentle clearing of old proteins, toxins, and waste that accumulate during the day. This process is essential to prevent forgetfulness, mental fog, confusion, and even the early stages of dementia. The shocking part is that millions of seniors unknowingly interrupt this cleaning process. They go to bed thinking they are taking care of themselves, when in reality, a tiny mistake, something most people do at night without realizing, silently blocks the brain from cleaning itself properly. And when that happens, memory loss accelerates faster than anyone expects. But here's the good news, and this is why I want you to stay with me until the end. There are 2 simple vitamins that you can take before bed. 2 vitamins that work while you sleep, that help your brain restart this natural cleaning process. Vitamins that support the very system responsible for clearing out the waste that makes seniors forget names, misplace objects, repeat questions, or wake up feeling confused. Most doctors never explain this. But tonight I'm going to explain it to you in the simplest, clearest way possible, as if I were sitting right beside you, holding your hand, showing you step by step how to protect your mind. Let me introduce myself quickly before we go deeper. My name is Dr. Elizabeth Collins, and I've been a geriatrician specializing in memory and dementia for over 25 years. I've treated thousands of seniors who struggled with forgetfulness, confusion, or early cognitive decline. I've seen heartbreaking stories, people who seemed perfectly fine one year and suddenly couldn't remember their grandchildren's names the next. But I've also seen beautiful transformations when the brain finally receives what it needs at the right time of day. And nighttime. Nighttime is when the most powerful healing happens. I'm telling you this with affection, with experience, and with complete honesty. The brain of a 60-year-old or 70-year-old can improve. It can gain clarity again. It can wake up more alert, more organized, more alive. But only if you allow it to perform this deep cleaning during the night. And the 2 vitamins I'll reveal today, one of them is something so simple most people ignore it, and the other is something you may already have at home but are not using correctly. Work together to help your brain clear itself in a way that protects your memory. Before I reveal the second best solution and then the strongest, main solution, I need you to understand something essential. You are not losing your memory because you're old. You're losing it because your brain is overloaded, tired, and unable to clear out the waste that builds up day after day. I want you to imagine your mind like a kitchen after a long day. Dishes in the sink, crumbs on the counter, a bit of clutter. If no one cleans it overnight, the mess piles up. That's exactly what happens inside the aging brain when the nighttime cleaning system doesn't work properly. And that hidden mistake I mentioned? It's something I'll reveal soon. Something that blocks this cleaning in thousands of seniors without them realizing. I had a patient, Mr. Harris, 72 years old. He was convinced he was developing early dementia because he kept forgetting simple things. His daughter was frightened. But when I asked him about his nights, his routine, his habits, I immediately saw the real problem. He wasn't giving his brain the conditions it needed to clean itself. He was doing Sudoku every night, staying mentally active, but his brain was not going into the deep, healing state required for clearing toxins. When we corrected just one habit and added one simple nighttime vitamin, he came back 2 weeks later smiling, saying, "Doctor, I woke up clear. I haven't felt this way in years." And that was just the beginning. You deserve the same. You deserve clarity, calmness, good memory, and mornings where you feel present and connected. And the best part? It's much easier than people think. In just a moment, I'll reveal the first vitamin, the second best solution, and explain exactly why it helps your brain clean itself during the night. But before that, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you will understand what nobody ever explained to you. Why Sudoku cannot clean your brain. But these 2 nighttime vitamins can support the system that does. Let me begin revealing the second best solution, the first nighttime vitamin that quietly helps the brain restart its cleaning system. And please listen with calm attention, because even though this vitamin is simple, the way it acts inside an aging brain is powerful. I'm talking about magnesium glycinate, not any magnesium. Not the cheap ones that upset your stomach or do nothing for your mind. Magnesium glycinate, the form that gently enters the brain, helps your nervous system relax, and prepares your mind for the deep sleep stage where the washing cycle actually happens. Most seniors don't know that the brain only cleans itself when it reaches a certain depth of sleep. Light sleep is not enough. Tossing and turning is not enough. Lying in bed with your eyes closed is not enough. Your brain needs that deeper, calmer, slower state, the one many older adults struggle to reach. Magnesium glycinate quietly lowers those little electric storms inside the brain that keep thoughts jumping from one idea to another. And when that storm settles, the cleaning can finally begin. This storm is something I see all the time in my patients. Many of them tell me, "Doctor, I'm in bed, but my mind doesn't stop. Thoughts running, worries circling, memories popping up. And when the brain stays alert like that, the cleaning system simply cannot open. It's like trying to clean a moving car. You need the engine to slow down. Magnesium glycinate helps with exactly that, slowing down the mind in a natural, gentle way. I had a patient named Mrs. Granger, 68 years old. A sweet woman, very active, very organized. But she was forgetting more and more things. Where she placed her glasses, the names of friends she had known for years, even small details of conversations she had just had. She thought she was failing, and I could feel the anxiety in her voice every time she spoke. But when I asked about her sleep, she confessed something important. "Doctor, I sleep, but not deeply. I'm always half awake." That half-awake state is where the brain accumulates the most waste. It's where confusion grows. It's where mental fatigue starts building layer over layer. I recommended magnesium glycinate to her, just a small dose, taken in the evening with a glass of water. 2 weeks later, she walked into my office looking lighter. Her words flowed more smoothly. Her eyes looked brighter. She told me, "I finally slept, really slept, and I woke up feeling like my head was clear instead of stuffed with cotton." This is why I call magnesium glycinate the second best solution. It doesn't fix everything on its own, but it opens the door. It prepares the mind for what comes next. And that preparation is essential if you want your brain to clean itself the way it was designed to do. Something remarkable happens when your brain enters deep sleep. The spaces between your brain cells physically open, a real, measurable expansion, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to wash through like a gentle river. That river carries away the proteins, toxins, and metabolic debris that accumulate during the day. Imagine tiny particles, almost invisible, being lifted and carried out. That's the cleaning. That's what protects your memory. That's what prevents aging from accelerating too fast. But here's the part nobody tells you. This river cannot flow if your brain doesn't relax enough to open those spaces. And that's why magnesium glycinate matters. It doesn't clean the brain by itself. It gives the brain the calmness it needs so the cleaning system can activate. Think of it like preparing your home before the cleaning crew arrives. You turn off the lights, close the doors, quiet the house. Only then can someone clean properly. That's exactly what magnesium does. It tells the brain, it's time to rest. Let everything open. Let the cleaning begin. But there's something even more important I need to explain before revealing the strongest solution. Many seniors unknowingly sabotage their nighttime cleaning without realizing it. It's a simple mistake, but it blocks the entire process. Some people do it every single night because they think it's relaxing. Others do it because they believe it helps them sleep. But the truth is the opposite. This mistake prevents the brain from sinking into the stage where cleaning occurs. And I will reveal it soon. Because once you remove this mistake and combine it with the right vitamins, the improvement in clarity can be surprising. Before I move on, I want you to understand one last thing about magnesium glycinate. It is gentle. It does not sedate you. It does not force your brain into a heavy sleep. It simply helps your nervous system loosen its grip, the way a tight fist slowly opens. And when that happens, your brain finally has space to heal. Now that you know the second best solution, we're ready to talk about the strongest one. The vitamin that directly supports the brain's nighttime cleaning, helping it remove waste more effectively. And I promise you, when you hear what it is and understand how it works, something will finally make sense. Now let's move into the strongest part of this entire message, the main solution, the nighttime vitamin that plays a direct role in how the aging brain clears out waste, reorganizes memories, and restores clarity by morning. This is the one most people overlook. This is the one sitting quietly on pharmacy shelves while thousands of seniors struggle with forgetfulness, believing they're just getting old. I'm talking about vitamin B6, a nutrient that becomes increasingly important after age 60, yet is often the very one seniors lack without realizing it. And when B6 runs low, something essential for nighttime brain cleaning weakens. the production of neurotransmitters that help the brain transition into the deep, restorative sleep where the cleaning occurs. Without enough B6, the brain stays shallow, restless, unorganized, like a household where the lights never fully turn off, leaving the cleaning crew waiting at the door. Vitamin B6 has a unique role. It is one of the main vitamins responsible for transforming amino acids into the chemicals your brain uses to communicate at night. Serotonin for calmness, melatonin for deep sleep, and GABA for tranquility. These are not just words. They are the switches that tell your brain, it's time to enter the cleaning phase. When they're low, the brain doesn't receive that message. The lights stay on, the doors stay closed, and the waste stays inside. Let me tell you about a man named Leonard, 74 years old, whom I treated last year. He was a sharp, witty gentleman, always reading, always learning. But he came to me saying something that broke my heart. "Doctor, I feel like my brain is full of fog. I wake up tired. I forget conversations. I feel like I'm disappearing." That word, disappearing, is something I hear more often than you can imagine. I looked at his sleep pattern, his stress level, his diet, and something was clear. His brain was not entering the deep sleep stage long enough for cleaning to occur. I tested a few things, and one deficiency stood out: vitamin B6. When we gently introduced B6 at night, not in excess, but in a balanced way, the change was almost unbelievable. 3 weeks later, Leonard walked back into my office with a calm smile I hadn't seen in months. He said, "Dr. Collins, I woke up and felt present, like someone opened a window in my mind and let fresh air in." This is the effect B6 can have on the aging brain. Not magic, not miracles, just biology finally working the way it's supposed to. But there is something deeper you need to understand. During the night, B6 supports a process inside the brain that is often forgotten: dream organization. Many people don't realize that dreaming is closely connected to memory cleaning. Dreams reorganize experiences, file away information, and clear the mental desk, so the brain doesn't wake up cluttered. When B6 levels are low, dreaming becomes shallow, broken, or non-existent, and memory suffers heavily. I once had a patient tell me, "Doctor, I haven't dreamed in years." That's a sign I take very seriously. It tells me the brain is not reaching the depth of sleep required for cleaning. After introducing nighttime B6, she returned weeks later saying, "I'm dreaming again, and my mind feels lighter." That lightness is the brain clearing itself. Let me simplify what happens when vitamin B6 and magnesium glycinate work together at night. Imagine your brain as an old library. Over the years, papers pile up on the tables, old documents lay scattered, and dust settles on shelves that haven't been touched. Magnesium glycinate gently switches off the lights and quiets the room. But vitamin B6? It helps the librarians come in and start organizing, cleaning, filing, and restoring order. Without B6, the cleaning crew cannot communicate, cannot coordinate, cannot finish the job. When seniors combine these two vitamins correctly, a profound shift often occurs. They begin waking up feeling refreshed instead of heavy. They remember names more easily. They follow conversations with more focus. They feel less confused in the mornings. Their thinking becomes more fluid, more connected, more alive. But now comes something critical. Something I need you to hear clearly and kindly. None of this works if a certain nighttime mistake continues. And this mistake is far more common than you think. It's something many older adults do because they believe it helps them relax. Something that feels comforting, yet silently destroys the brain's ability to clean itself. This mistake is using screens at night, TV, phone, tablet, in the hour before sleep. I know it feels harmless. I know it feels like a way to unwind. But the blue light from screens suppresses melatonin, blocks the brain's transition into deep sleep, and interrupts the very stage where B6 and magnesium work. It's like trying to clean a house while someone keeps turning the lights back on and off. The brain becomes confused, restless, unable to fully enter the cleaning phase. I've seen seniors who improved dramatically simply by removing screen exposure before bed. When they finally allowed their brain to rest in darkness, even just 45 minutes, the nighttime cleaning became stronger. And when they paired that with the right vitamins, the results were almost always noticeable. Your brain wants to heal. It wants to clear the waste that slows you down. It wants to sharpen your memory. But it can only do that if you give it the darkness, the calmness, and the nutrients it needs. And now that you know the two vitamins, we can finally move towards something equally important: the enemies. The nighttime mistakes, habits, and combinations that silently accelerate memory decline. 3 of them, in particular, are harming seniors' brains every night without them knowing. Now that you understand the 2 vitamins that support your brain's natural nighttime cleaning, I need to guide you into a part of this conversation that is just as important, maybe even more. Because even if you take the right vitamins, even if your intentions are good and your heart is in the right place, 3 common nighttime mistakes can silently undo everything. And these mistakes are everywhere. I see them in patients of all ages, especially those over 60, and most of them don't even realize they're harming themselves. I want you to listen to this section with kindness toward yourself. If you've done any of these things, it doesn't mean you failed. It only means that nobody explained this to you before. That's exactly why I'm here. My job, my mission, is to make sure you understand what truly helps your brain and what quietly damages it while you sleep. Let's begin with the first enemy. The first mistake is eating late at night, especially heavy meals. Many seniors fall into this habit because they believe a full stomach helps them sleep. They think, if I eat something warm, I'll relax. But the truth is the opposite. When you go to bed with your stomach full, your body is forced to work on digestion instead of focusing on brain cleaning. The system that should be washing the toxins out of your brain becomes interrupted because your energy is directed toward processing food. Think of it this way. Your body is like a household with only one cleaning team. If that team is in the kitchen washing dishes late at night, no one is free to go upstairs and clean the bedrooms. Your brain is one of those bedrooms. The cleaning simply doesn't happen. I had a patient, Mrs. Dawson, 76 years old, who couldn't understand why she woke up confused every morning. She insisted, I sleep well. I go to bed full and comfortable. But that comfort was misleading her. When we changed her routine and moved her last meal to earlier in the evening, her mornings became clearer. The fog lifted. And that simple adjustment made more difference than she expected. The second enemy is something people use without questioning: nighttime alcohol. Even a small amount, a glass of wine, a shot of whiskey, a tiny sip to relax, can block the brain's cleaning system. Many seniors believe alcohol helps them sleep because it makes them feel drowsy. But alcohol doesn't create natural sleep. It creates sedation. And sedation is not the kind of sleep the brain needs to clean itself. In fact, alcohol prevents the brain from reaching the deep, slow-wave stages where the washing process occurs. I want you to imagine drinking alcohol as placing a heavy blanket over the brain. It forces you to sleep, but the brain is immobilized, unable to open the door to cleaning. You might close your eyes quickly, but your brain remains full of the same toxins you wanted to get rid of. I once spoke with a man named Arthur, 82 years old, who proudly told me, Dr. Collins, every night I take a little drink to help me fall asleep. He believed it was harmless, maybe even healthy. But when I explained the truth, his face softened with surprise. He didn't know that alcohol disrupts sleep cycles. He didn't know it worsens memory in the long run. When he stopped drinking at night and replaced it with a warm herbal tea, his sleep deepened. And after 2 weeks, he told me, I remember my dreams again. That was the moment I knew his brain was finally entering the cleaning state. The third mistake is one that appears innocent, yet it is shockingly destructive. Falling asleep with lights on, even a small lamp or hallway bulb. Many seniors do this because darkness feels unsafe or lonely. But the brain depends on darkness to activate melatonin, the hormone that signals the cleaning system to open. When there is light, even just a soft glow, the brain stays in a semi-alert state. That state blocks the deep sleep phase and interrupts the flow of cerebrospinal fluid that carries toxins away. Darkness is not just a preference. It is a biological requirement for brain restoration. I remember visiting a patient's home, a lovely woman named Caroline, 70 years old. She left a small lamp on every night because she feared tripping if she woke up. The problem was that this soft light was enough to disturb her brain's nightly cleaning process. She woke up every morning tired, with a heavy mind and a sense of being behind her thoughts. We made a gentle adjustment. She began using a motion-activated nightlight instead of a continuous one. After that simple change, her sleep deepened. She woke up clearer. Her confusion eased. She said to me, I didn't know darkness mattered this much. But it does. It truly does. These 3 mistakes, eating late, drinking alcohol before bed, and sleeping with lights on, are subtle, familiar, and almost invisible. Yet they are powerful enough to block the very process your brain depends on to protect your memory. Tonight, I want you to make a promise to yourself. Treat your brain with the same tenderness you would give to a loved one. Give it peace, give it darkness, give it rest. And when you combine that kindness with the right nighttime vitamins, the improvement in clarity, focus, and morning lucidity can surprise you. We are nearly at the end, And now I want to guide you into a gentle closing, a way to connect, reflect, and prepare you for the next step in your brain's protection. We've walked together through something deeper than just vitamins or tips. What we've done here is open a door that many people your age never get the chance to open, simply because no one takes the time to explain how the brain truly works while you sleep. And now that all the pieces are in front of you, I want to bring everything together slowly, gently, with the same care I would offer to someone sitting in my office, looking into my eyes, searching for hope. You now know that your brain is not failing. It is not beyond repair. It is not doomed to confusion or forgetfulness. What has been happening inside you is far simpler and far more human. Your brain has been trying to clean itself, but something has been getting in the way. Something small, something invisible, something that can be changed. When seniors begin supporting their nighttime cleaning system, when they finally allow their brain to sink into deep sleep, when they remove the habits that block recovery, when they nourish themselves with the right nutrients, I often witness something almost emotional. There's a brightness that returns to their face, a steadiness in their voice, a calmness in the way they describe their mornings. It's as if life begins to flow again. I remember a man named Patrick, 71 years old, who once said to me, "Dr. Collins, I just want to wake up feeling like myself." That longing, the longing to feel present, capable, aware, is something many seniors never say out loud, but I know they feel it deeply. And I watched Patrick transform over weeks simply by respecting his brain at night. He used magnesium glycinate to calm the nervous system, B6 to support the brain's internal signals, and he cut out the habits that were silently harming him. One morning, he walked into my clinic and said, "I feel like my mind woke up before my body did." It's been years since that happened. That is what I want for you. I want your mornings to become easier. I want you to feel more connected to your surroundings. I want you to have those moments of clarity where your thoughts move more smoothly and your memory feels stronger, younger, more alive, not because of anything extraordinary, but because you finally gave your brain the conditions it needed to heal overnight. As you move forward from this moment, I want you to pay close attention to how your nights feel. Notice the calmness when you reduce distractions. Notice how your body responds to magnesium glycinate when taken gently in the evening. Notice how vitamin B6 supports your sleep, your mood, and your morning clarity. Notice how your brain shifts when you begin honoring darkness, respecting silence, and letting your mind settle. These are not small things. These are the building blocks of memory protection. And if you've been carrying worry about your forgetfulness, I want you to release that weight, even just a little. You are not alone in this. What you're experiencing is common, understandable, and, most importantly, changeable. I've spent more than 25 years protecting the minds of seniors, and I can tell you with complete confidence, your brain is still capable of improvement. It is still capable of organizing itself. It is still capable of cleaning away the debris of the day and waking up sharper. Your brain wants to help you. Tonight, you can help it back. Before we finish, I'd like to ask you something simple, something from the heart. Think about everything we discussed, the vitamins, the hidden mistakes, the way your brain cleans itself at night. Now tell me honestly, which of these nighttime habits have you been doing without realizing they were harming your memory? Your answer matters more than you think. When you write it down, you make the first step toward changing it. And if you want me to guide you even deeper, if you want to know the foods that strengthen the brain in the morning, or the drinks that protect memory during the afternoon, or the habits that slow down cognitive aging, just tell me. I'll prepare the next part with the same clarity, the same care, and the same commitment to your well-being. Thank you for staying with me until the end. Your time is valuable, your mind is precious, and your brain deserves this level of attention. I hope tonight you sleep with more peace, more understanding, and more confidence in your ability to protect your memory, day after day.